this all talk of Max's charge in this championship and his, yeah, as you said, like his trajectory that has just flown up in this sort of latter half since the summer break. It has led to some people suggesting that McLaren should start putting their eggs in one basket. Bet on the horse that they think is going to win. And Owain, obviously on current form, you would think that Lando Norris has scored a podium in each of the last three races, has been fairly consistent in his point scoring of late compared to Piastri. But given how we've got here to the end, to this point in the season, where the McLaren drivers are only a single point separates them. And then you get people who say that McLaren should back one driver. Would you agree with me that that is possibly the dumbest suggestion that any journalist has ever put forward?
Well, if you believe some of the sentiment online, apparently they've been doing that with Norris for the whole season. So it's just Piastri that's been driving like a god to overcome that. To answer your question, I can't see why they would do that. I can't see with the greatest will in the world, obviously there's a cost cap to consider, and you could maybe take a sort of slightly more detached view of it and think that, well, fighting between the two drivers will get our sponsors on the TV a bit more often than when they're just winning the race by 35 seconds or something like that. I think if that was going to happen, it would have happened already. We would have seen a distinct number one and two play out, but I don't I don't think that McLaren are going to do that. I think they've seemed very, very committed to we're going to fight this out on track. We're going to figure out who, not figure out, but we'll give you the same tools, same opportunities, the same, resources, and you'll fight it out on track to the best of our ability. We'll try and keep it even, and as much as that's brung them a bit of controversy, they have kind of stuck to that, and I think it's worked out well for them. And I think maybe that's a testament to how things have happened. Obviously, Norris has had a failure in that time, and then there was the issues with both of them sort of running into each other earlier this season. But apart from that, it's been fairly even, and I think that's because McLaren are just letting them have at it. I don't think they're going to start stepping in now. Again, I don't want to bring it just back to money, but the constructors is settled. Like they're going to win. And as I said before, there's still a 36-point gap to Max Verstappen, who is their nearest rival. 35 if you count Oscar Piastri. So I don't see a reason to start stepping in. Everything's wrapped up from the position of the engineer bonuses and the money that you get from FOM. So from that point, it's just a matter of how much repairing do you want to do? And I think that they're happy to let that fight play out. I think it's a ridiculous suggestion to say that they'd make the decision now that they're not in a title fight, a serious title fight for the constructors with another team. What's the point? What do you stand to gain by imposing some kind of limits other than resentment from at least one of your drivers?
Well, obviously they stand to gain as getting their dream driver of the world championship, according to most of the internet.